Time. 3, 2, 1. What's
It's like this was free agent frenzy.
Yeah, free agent frenzy with T.
What the hell's happening to Dallas? Why,
These guys.
What's the running back situation? What the hell are they doing?
Dak Prescott.
Rico Doro.
Yeah. Let Slayton go and pay him chips for the first year. Like nothing.
There's no doubt. There's a high probability he's a dud. If he's wearing that white and blue, if it's either Dallas or New York, it's a dud coming.
Dud.
29 bald head Eckler. But he's still my guy, friend of the pod though.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't mind him on a Cowboy jersey who just thinks he's a little better than what he actually is.
Oh,
It's a good point there, Josh. Let me tell you about this scrub. Show out here, big dog Josh wearing his New York Giants shirt.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Shane's about to get cut from the podcast. Yeah, you are. If you weren't Daddy's little boy,
I have 2 whiskeys.
you'd be fucking done years ago.
Semenyo. Dude, turn off the anime. We can't give Saquon $11 million, but we can give Drew Lock 5?
Yeah.
Here we go. Another generational tight end coming in for a hot rookie season.
Yeah, you're a bandwagoner, and that's good for you. I'm really proud of you. You've left the Giants in the past, and we've moved on. It's Josh's first podcast, and he's fucking telling us what to do. Like, fuck off. Someone turn this guy's laptop off.
He's your best player.
Okay, stop it for save it for the pod. God, it's fucking hard to record a podcast with Shane. It almost brings a tear to my eye to say goodbye.
Yeah. Welcome to What's Cooking on the Gridiron. This is your host T signing in, and thanks for joining myself and my Gridiron crew today. On today's show, we will have a special guest all the way from Kansas City, our Gridiron boy, Josh, aka JT Drip. He will join us for a segment I like to call Jack and the Beanstalk, in which we will talk about nothing but the New York Giants. So tune in, G-Men fans. And then with the Gridiron boys, Shane and Marty, we will chat about the crazy week we had with free agent frenzy. Of course, dust is not completely settled yet on the signings and the trades, so we'll just chat about the running backs on today's episode. But join us later this week for another segment on free agent frenzy, where we will dive into QBs, wide receivers, and tight ends. Remember to subscribe and follow us on our YouTube channel, as well as our Spotify and Apple podcasts, so you don't miss out and enjoy today's show.
Welcome to What's Cooking on the Gridiron with your hosts T and Davis. Join us, along with the Gridiron Boys, as we chat about fantasy football and cook up and mix up some of the latest trending food and cocktails.
Hey guys, welcome back. We're on What's Cooking on the Gridiron. I have the Gridiron Boys here today. Welcome Marty, welcome Shane, and a special guest, one of our Gridiron Boys, JT Drip, all the way from Kansas City.
First show out here, big dog Josh wearing his New York Giants shirt.
Welcome, Josh.
Thanks, guys. Happy to be here.
Thanks, Amos Todd.
Yeah.
Good to be here again.
Yes, good. And Josh, we're going to start this off. We're going to talk today. We're going to talk about
all
the stuff that was happening around the league all this last week, all the trades, all the signings and everything like that. But before we get to that, Josh, I just wanted to, you went to the Super Bowl, not the Super Bowl, but you actually went to the Kansas City party in Kansas City, obviously during the Super Bowl time. How was that?
Oh, it was crazy. It was actually like the Raptors parade, kind of, not on the same level, but it was very, very similar to like the vibe and everything that was going on. They had this DJ duo that was from London, Ontario. I don't know their name. Really? I forget them. Yeah. Luxury something.
I know.
Loud Luxury. They did the
Luxury.
body on
actually?
Luxury,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The body on my song. That was them.
So did you wear a Giants shirt or Kansas?
No, I wore a Travis Kelce shirt. I support Travis Kelce.
Big fan Marty is.
I'm a big Swiftie.
It's good.
Yeah, the show was good. The party was good. When they won, it was a big party. The street was going wild. So
Yeah, that was good.
It was fun.
Yeah, I saw some photos. It looked like there was a lot of people there in that. So
Yeah, I
must
think
have
they
been
said like
pretty
20,000 or something.
Yeah, it must have been pretty exciting when they won too. So
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, you're a bandwagoner, and that's good for you. I'm really proud of you. You've left the Giants in the past, and we've moved on.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, he has to have a backup team when he cheers for the
We
Giants.
all have backup teams. Like, let's not
Let's
say like you weren't.
You have to.
Yeah.
If we want to get into backup teams, let me tell you about 2024.
Shane's a Dallas fan, obviously, from his jersey. And Josh, Liverpool fan as well. We watched that game. It tied the match up against Manchester. Little controversial missed call there, I think, right at the end. That would have gave Liverpool the penalty kick. I'm not sure if they would have scored or not, but what were you feeling about that, Josh? You're pretty heated that night. That day.
Yeah, I didn't know we were going to talk about that, so it's kind of got me pissed. No, but it was a good game.
Yeah.
It was definitely one of the better games of the year that we played, I think. Just because of how good City is, and they're probably one of the best teams of all time. So for us to play like that well, like on that day, like I think we outplayed them probably 75% of the game. Through like the first 15 minutes, you could probably give it to City, but I think after that, I think we dominated them. And the draw is like a bit upsetting because of how good we played, but like, I mean, I'll take it. It's Anfield. We should have probably won, but
yeah. Now you guys are you guys tied with Man?
No, we're tied with Arsenal up the
Okay.
top. So I think we're both on 64, and then they're winning on goal differential because they've already played like the bottom feeder teams. They still have
Right.
to play, like Arsenal still has to play City, Spurs,
Right.
I think some of the other top teams too. So
Right.
we still have like Sheffield that we can play, which is like the worst team in the league, like probably one of the worst Premier League teams of all time. And I think Arsenal put like five on them. So like, hopefully we run that up.
Run that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But City's in third, so like you can never count City out,
No.
like ever.
Not for sure. And now we'll just skip away from that so you don't get too heated up.
Yeah, okay, good.
Well,
Yeah,
now
let's
we'll get to
NFL
the real
podcast.
heated up.
I thought we were talking about football.
Yeah, we are. Yeah. Well, that's football.
No, like let's keep talking about the Premier League.
No,
Inside the
we don't
NFL.
talk
Oh,
day
we
about
don't?
Premier
Okay.
League. That's the different.
We'll talk about the
podcast.
fake football then.
Yeah, we'll talk about the fake football
Yeah,
and
sounds
that.
good.
So, and but we'll get you heated up because we're going to do the little section now that I like to call Jack and the Beanstalk, which is like the Giants fans. So we're going to talk to Josh about how a New York Giants fan survives in KC, and that I know like the G-Man had 6 wins this year. They were 2-8 at the start after having a playoff appearance in 2022, and obviously didn't do this well. How are you feeling about this last year, and what are you thinking going forward?
Last year's a bit of a write-off. I mean, well, it's a write-off. Like we're on a third string quarterback. Like how many games did Danny play?
Potentially better than Danny.
Yeah,
so
he
third
played,
string, first string.
He played
Let's
6
mix the
games.
strings up.
Played 6 games.
Okay.
Played 6 games. Yeah.
So our third string quarterback was out there most of the season.
Yeah.
Like we had Danny DeVito throwing the ball. So I don't really know how to judge the season. Last year we were obviously in the playoffs, but I think last year we had new coach coming in. Shout out, Welland boy.
Welland boy, yeah.
But like we still don't have a wide receiver one. Giants are good. We'll have a great year in 2024.
Didn't know that.
That's it.
Danny DeVito was throwing the football out there. Wasn't he?
Yeah, pretty much. Like
Giants fan, you are.
he came up and freaking mama's couch.
Danny DeVito.
Tommy DeVito.
Yeah. Danny
know
would be
his
a little
name, I know
short
his
for a
name.
QB.
Yeah.
Now I know the GM. I seen him. He had to wear the headset for like 4 of the games because you guys lost your defensive coordinator last year because the coach fired a couple of defensive assistants, and so then I guess your defensive coordinator said "fuck this" and just left. And that
So would I. I would have said it.
yeah.
I would have left.
So do you think your coach was like the coach of the year in 2022?
Well, it's not like he's not a bad
Yeah.
coach. He can't be a bad coach. Like
So
he came from coaching Josh Allen.
Do you think this year he has to really do it, or he might be looking for another job somewhere?
Well, that's just the way coaches work, though.
Yeah.
Like if you have 2 shitty seasons back to back, and you're not like someone established, like Mike Tomlin or Andy Reid or something, like you're gonna get fired. That's just kind of how it is. I think that's like in every sport.
Yeah,
but,
for sure.
I don't like even if we have a bad year this year, I still don't think he's a bad coach. Like he can't be considered a bad coach after he made Josh Allen, and then he comes to us and we're in the playoffs after like being garbage for like the last like 3 years. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Even if we have a bad year, I'm still not going to say he's a bad coach.
No.
And he's Canadian, so I can't say he's a bad coach.
and he's from the local area. Here,
Yeah, so like
We're heavily biased.
we're heavily biased.
it's
Best coach in the league.
I'm
if you ask
heavily
me.
biased. He's a great coach.
Great coach. Just around the corner from us.
Just sometimes we're not good at what we do. That's everybody. I think.
Yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
sometimes, some days, I'm a terrible engineer.
a terrible engineer.
And
Just terrible. Most days,
Yeah.
in 2023, most days the Giants were just
not good.
not good. Yeah.
Yeah, but we don't have. We were third string QB, and we don't have a receiver one.
But I still am curious if you would.
We had
class him as third
Saquon.
string.
Saquon taking snaps and like without Saquon.
Yeah, well, and now Saquon.
Is Danny Dimes that good?
Now, yeah, we can get into Saquon now. I mean, they decided not to. Well, he didn't want to franchise tag him and that or anything like that. And he's turning 27 or in February. He turned 27 in February. He had a pretty good season, I would say. It wasn't too bad. I drafted him in my fantasy league, and he did pretty well for me. And that now he was looking at. They didn't want to sign him and that. So I mean. Even though they had the salary cap increase, I thought maybe sign him 33 mil or 33 years, 33 million, with some guarantees or something like that, versus just, throwing him out there, but they didn't want to really do that. So then he's gone. We'll get into where he went. And then they were looking at, maybe replacing him with Pollard, Shane's boy from Dallas, and Eckler, but they ended up signing Singletary. How you feeling?
Good, big upgrade. Big upgrade.
Do you
for the
think
Giants?
Big upgrade.
Before Josh gets the mic back, I'm a bit behind. I haven't been following closely, but did Saquon decide not to re-sign, or the Giants didn't want to re-sign him?
I think it went both ways.
it's more of a
He didn't
payment-
want to be franchise
payment
tagged.
thing.
Because if I'm Saquon,
And
I'm getting out as well.
Yeah.
And hell, has he made a good move too?
Yeah, the thing is, they're trying to franchise tag him 1 year, 7 mil, I think it is.
yeah, it wasn't
it's
very
tough.
much. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like this guy gets a career-ending injury this year and doesn't get a bag. Like they just bang him on that.
Yeah.
So you
Sure.
got to get out there, get your money.
I agree.
And
Oh, yeah,
probably
I think
potentially go to a team that you could win a chip and get paid a lot
that's-
more to
yeah,
do it.
Like, I mean, they didn't want to give him the deal. So, I mean, obviously he was going to go look and that now, I mean, and as we saw, like there was a lot of dealings with the running backs. So like everybody's flying around everywhere. So obviously he was going to get a place. So, then the Giants are just going to have to, settle for what they ended up getting. But I mean, Devin Singletary.
I don't hate
mean,
the
it's not
Singletary
bad.
pickup. I think
That's
he was
not
good
bad.
the back end of last
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
Like, was he not? I think he was pretty good.
I don't know. He's been up north here before,
Yeah,
at
but
the
the Bills
and
never
maybe
know
the-
how to use a running
and
back.
he
So, like,
wasn't
why
real
are
good
we?
there,
We can't
so-
judge. We can't judge any running back based on their
Well, the
time
Bills
with the
Well,
current
no,
Bills,
exactly,
because the
no.
Bills just never use their running back properly. Like James Cook is elite, and they don't use him properly. Oh, they did when
Oh,
they got
yeah.
a new OC this year, and look what happened. James Cook was one of the best running backs at the tail end of the year.
So what are you expecting from Singletary?
I have no idea. Like, I actually couldn't tell you. I actually don't like. How
Yeah.
old is he? Like, what's going on? Like,
Yeah,
I actually couldn't tell you.
Yeah, so last year, we'll talk
26,
fantasy points. So
okay.
he was number
26.
32 in the standings. Not awful,
Overall or just running back?
running backs.
Okay,
Number 32.
He's also
PPR.
splitting the backfield.
Yeah,
with, like,
he had
two other guys.
167 points in full PPR, 216 rushes for 898 yards, 4 TDs, 30 receptions for 193. So I mean, not awful. Like, I mean, he was number 32. Eckler, who we thought was shit, was number 26. So I mean, obviously, you can base that against there. Barkley was up at 13. So I mean, he went. We've dropped from 13 to 32, but I mean, that's only fantasy. We're not talking, real football.
If we're
right?
talking like real football, like Saquon's like top 5.
Oh, it's a
yeah.
it's a
And
downgrade,
Singletary's
and we
like
can just leave
40.
it at that.
Yeah.
It's obviously
It's
a
a downgrade.
it's obviously a downgrade. But like, if they didn't want to pay
What they
him,
pay him?
They ended up paying him
3 years, 16
3 years,
and a half.
16.5 mil.
Yeah, they saved a bit of money, didn't
Well,
they?
yeah, because I mean, they would have had to pay 3 years. They would have had to pay
Just
Barkley
double
about
it.
33
Over-
mil.
yeah,
They would have
at
to
least
double.
double.
Yes, yeah.
Well, it
They
would've
would
been
have had
double,
to double it. Yeah, they would have had to double it. They wanted to keep Barkley. They would have had to double it because he did sign with Philly 3 years, 37.75 mil. So So, like if they would have doubled that, I mean, then that's what they.
I am upset.
So.
Like I am upset Saquon left, but I'm not upset at him that he left. I'm more upset like the team didn't put the money on the table for your best player in the last 10 years.
I mean, you think they would have at least gave him something to work with, and then he could give him an option, saying, okay, we'll give you, 25 mil over 3 years, maybe even a little bit less than what he could have got on the market, and just see if he wanted to stick around for that or go somewhere else for more money, right? So,
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and now we're talking about Danny Dimes. I mean, like he didn't play very much last year, like we were talking about in that. So, he carries there's a cap. So the team, if they get rid of him in June 1st of 2025, so next year, they'll save 30 million. So do you think in this draft they're going to try to pick up a rookie QB and try to work him in and then ditch Danny Dimes to save the money, or do you think that's your franchise QB?
I mean, I don't think you just give any guy 4 years, $165 million. Is that what it was? 2 years ago or whatever?
Well, it was a lot, yeah.
How long's left in his contract after this year?
I'm not sure. Well, I mean, I think they can save, like, if they release him in 2025 in the summer, they'll save 30 mil. Because I think he carries a 47 mil cap hit for the 2024, like, because there's guaranteed money, right? Right out of that, right? So, once he hits his guaranteed money, then, and I think he got a big chunk of that up front. So I think once he hits his guaranteed, then he goes. But Shane just looked it up here. 4 years, 160.
For those that didn't hear, second worst quarterback contract that's ranked at.
Grab
so not
that
great.
mic.
Not great.
I have no choice but to ride with him.
Yeah.
I have no choice.
Yeah, I think they're going to. I think
while we're kind of on this topic,
here Shane's going to chime in.
You could almost make the argument that 4 years, 150 is just as worse. And do we know who that is, Marty?
I think it's good money.
Good money, eh?
For potential. And I think Derek Carr has a bit more potential.
How old's Derek Carr? 30.
Yeah, but he's just shown a bit more over his career than Danny Dimes, I think, ever will. So I'm going to ride the Derek Carr train. You can't change my thoughts on that.
I'm taking Derek Carr over Danny Dimes
any day, every day of the week. Every day of the week. It's a no-brainer.
I'm not taking either one of those guys.
Although I
will have to say I picked up Danny Dime as my backup, and that didn't work out.
It's easy to say when you're sitting over there with a Lamar jersey on that I don't want either of them. Right. It's an easy thing to say.
Yeah, we're all sitting in a terrible position for quarterback, I think, with our teams.
Oh, not me.
I don't know.
I never thought I'd hear the day. Dak Prescott would be slandered.
MVP.
Okay.
I mean, how he's MVP. Like, I mean, how
he's MVP.
How be? And then I guess they signed Drew Lock for 1 year.
Let's talk about this. So
1 year, 5 mil. We were talking about this earlier. I would definitely have gone and played for 1 mil.
We can't give Saquon $11 million, but we can give Drew Lock $5 million.
Yeah, like you blew away $5 million for your backup. But I mean, Danny Dimes, like I said, what did he play? He's like
Drew Lock's not our backup. He's our third string. I'm starting Danny DeVito over Drew Lock.
Yeah, well,
let's stop starting Danny. Let's start Tommy.
Tommy.
And is Tyrod Taylor not still running around?
I don't know. I thought he left. Maybe.
Yeah, he's
still running around there.
No, he's signed.
Tyrod Taylor is now a backup quarterback for.
I will have to look that up.
Doesn't matter where he is because he's not getting the games.
No.
Hated
Tyrod.
He went to a good spot actually.
Yeah.
Team that needed a good.
He's
backup.
not.
He went to the Jets.
Oh yeah, he went to Jets.
So when Rodgers goes out again,
he's backing up Rodgers.
Is he backing up Wilson or is he?
No, he's backing up Rodgers.
So Zach Wilson's career is done.
Well,
it's
that's sad.
Well, I haven't seen him go anywhere. Like he's still there. So
they can't even get rid of Justin Fields. Who's gonna want Zach Wilson?
Well, I know. But we'll get into that Justin Fields because I don't even know if anybody's going to be.
Would you want to get rid of Justin Fields? You want to get rid of Justin Fields if you're the Bears?
I'm keeping Justin.
So on the Saquon topic, fantastic move for Philly then.
Oh yeah,
is that next?
I like that.
I think it's an unreal move.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think so too. Yeah,
I think Philly did a great job. It's gonna be tough. No Jason Kelce this year. But
Jason Kelce. Yeah.
Is that who else? They lose anyone else from the O line?
I'm not sure where he went. I do believe they lost another lineman, not one of their key starters though.
I think Saquon's going to be unbelievable.
But yeah, it's gonna see. It depends how they kind of fill that center position and how much Hurts wants to be greedy guts again.
Yeah.
Well, they must have known that Jason was on the way out they must have known this was coming.
Oh, for sure.
They must have had a center in the background.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Learning the tricks of the trade for a long term.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what?
So
they might even scoop someone up
I
in
think
the draft.
I think
so.
Saquon could be pretty nasty this year.
Yeah. Well, let's save that talk when we go over down all the teams and that. But
Okay.
let's jump back to the Giants there, Josh. So they have 6 picks in the upcoming draft.
Take a receiver.
Do you
Take your
think
best
they're
receiver
taking their
possible.
best receiver? So do you think they're going to take Odunze? You think that? I mean,
Is he ranked number 1 receiver at the moment?
No,
I was
no.
gonna say.
Give me
No,
Marvin
no,
Harrison
no.
Jr.
Yeah.
No, he's not ranked number
But
1.
he's
But I mean,
projected to be still alive.
That's probably
at that stage
where
of the
he'll.
draft.
That's probably where he'll.
He
fall.
looked nasty in the CFL.
That's probably where he'll fall in
the
that.
CFL,
So.
the college league.
Because I mean, I don't want to,
Is
you
it
know,
Argonaut?
I don't want to hurt you, Josh, but I mean, they have not had a 1,000-yard receiver since OBJ in,
No, they're.
in 2018. So I mean, they need a receiver.
I'd
I
like
don't know
to
what they're gonna
see.
get,
I would
so.
like to see Daniel Jones
Be
fully
good.
healthy season with a staple receiver 1.
Yeah.
I'd like to see it. We have a
Yeah.
good tight end.
So
We have a decent line.
you get that this year. You get the WR1 in the draft. He doesn't put up 1,000 yards. Is it
He's
times?
He's a rookie.
He's a
Is it-
rookie.
is
He's
it-
not gonna.
is
He's
it-
not gonna put it up this year.
Danny Dimes is done.
No,
he still doesn't
he's not.
perform.
He's not going to put it up. But I mean, you'll be able to see. You'll be able to see how the production works out. I mean, he's a rookie. He's not going to, be fantastic right off the bat. But you'll be able to see how Danny Dimes plays with somebody decent. Because I mean, if you don't have a decent receiver, unless you're Patrick Mahomes. But I mean, unless you have a decent receiver, it's hard to do.
I do believe I saw Darren Waller might be retiring.
Yes, I was. That was my other topic.
Well,
was that-
before we
sixth
jump on
pick-
the
with that 6th pick, they might take a generational tight end this draft. So here we go.
Here we go.
Okay,
Another
there's a-
generational
okay,
tight end
there's-
coming in
there's
for a hot
there's
rookie
a
season.
There's a lot
Like,
of tight ends out there
holy
that you can
Hannah.
pick up and throw in.
Kyle Pitts coming in hot.
That's not what you want. They need it. I think. Can't speak for the coaches, but I think if they're not drafting a wide receiver, I think they're wasting their pick if they're not.
Well, if
drafting
they're not drafting a
wide
receiver,
on
you're getting the
6
best
picks.
quarterback available.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing, right?
That's just
So-
how it works.
maybe
And
I'll get a
then
running back.
you let Daniel.
Well, that's what we were
I got
thinking
Singletary
about.
running around out there.
Well, that's what we're thinking. Like if they're going to not draft a wide receiver, then they're going to pick up the best running or best quarterback at that time that might be available. Get rid of Danny Dimes in 2025, save a few dollars and stuff like that. Maybe then use that dollars and trade for a better wide receiver or something like that. But
Well, we could
The Giants
discuss. We
love a
could
good
discuss.
6th pick. The Giants love a good.
We
6th
could
pick.
discuss here. What position do the Giants not need to take at the 6th pick? Because so far we've rattled off every offensive position. Is there any position that they don't need to fill?
a coach. They don't need to
Yeah,
draft
they
a
don't
co-
need to draft
They
a
don't need to
coach?
draft a coach.
I think the Giants defense looks pretty good here and there. I
Yeah.
mean, they still got to figure out their game plan against Dallas.
I was going to say that. Yeah.
yeah.
They look really good.
I think
against
we put up 89 points combined with 2 games. About as much as the Giants averaged for maybe the whole season. Average
Dallas. They only
89,
put up 89 points for the year. I think.
89 a
he's saying.
season.
How much did Dallas put up?
I do recall we put up
Defenses were better up
30. I think we put up like 30, but our defense let us down. So
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, Darren Waller, I heard he might be retiring too. He hasn't come out and said it, but one way or another, if he's playing or retiring. But defensively, yeah, I think they're pretty good, but they do need to add an edge rusher, I think, to help Thibodeau. Yeah, but there's just one. Like, I mean, he's good. Like, Thibodeau is really good, but I think they need somebody else. I did hear Bryce Huff is going to be a free agent out of the Jets.
Going to huff and he's puff.
Yeah, and I think that would probably be a great fit. I mean, if
I
they
might
have some
step in
dough to
here.
spend, so I don't know. He led the sacks in last year, so
I may step in here. Yeah, they did pick up Brian Burns. I believe he plays. I think he kind of rotates maybe linebacker plus rushing.
Pass rushing. Yeah.
little edge rusher.
Did they just pick him up recently?
Yeah,
Like yesterday or whatever, 2 days
they
ago?
traded for him actually
Okay.
from Carolina.
So that's what they're looking at then with him and that. So
Yeah, pretty good player. They had to give up a second for him, but I think he'll do his thing.
yeah, well, that's good.
Well, it's exciting for the Giants because who knows who they're going to draft, and that's exciting. We don't know.
I'm excited.
Okay, well, and one last thing, you have Slayton,
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
I mean, he led the team in receivers in the targets, 79, but overall he finished 46 only. But he had a career best of 770 yards, which isn't fantastic, but pretty decent. He's not hitting the 1,000 mark in that. I'm obviously at some point in time they need to get the young players involved, like Robinson and Hyatt and stuff like that. Slayton carries an 8 million cap hit for next season, but no guaranteed money. If you think they can land a receiver, like in the draft, maybe they should just let Slayton go and then and work on that. Okay.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You do think that?
That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then the rookie receiver is just going to be copping all the best defensive players all on his own because no other receiver's done anything.
Well, I mean, they got to work in the
Then who's
younger
he going to
guys.
learn from then?
Well, they got to work in. Well,
You got to keep Slayton there to teach him.
I think a healthy Daniel Jones. You maybe get a couple offensive linemen in the draft, give him a little bit of time to throw the ball. Jalen Hyatt's pretty disgustingly fast. I think he played decent last year.
Yeah.
But Giants like to get injured a lot at receiver, so and Slayton definitely gets injured a lot. So I think they just cut him.
Slayton's their best receiver.
Yeah, he does have some good
What
games.
if the rookie's a dud? Then you're absolutely done.
There's no doubt. There's a high probability he's a dud. If he's wearing that white and blue, if it's either Dallas or New York, it's a dud coming.
I'd be shocked to
Dud
see
coming
Slayton
out.
cut.
Yeah. Maybe to save some money and use it better.
Yeah, he won't be cut.
No.
But we can still draft a top receiver and keep it both for the year.
Hey guys, this is Davis, and I hope you're enjoying the podcast. T and the boys really know how to talk it up. I have been busy churning out these segments behind the scenes to make this show, and these clowns look glorious, but don't tell them that it's easy work since we started using StreamYard for our podcasting. It's the easiest way to live stream to YouTube like a pro, and if you're too scared to go live, then no problem. It's easy to just record, edit, and publish all within the StreamYard studio. And if you want to publish on other social media platforms, then enjoy the perfect portrait layouts tailored for seamless live streaming on Instagram and flawless recordings for your shorts, TikToks, and Reels. If you would like to try StreamYard for free, then just follow the link below in our podcast description and let Puddles show you the way. Now back to the show.
Okay, enough with beating the dead horse
the
there,
dead giant.
of the Giants. Let's switch over to around the league and the free agent frenzy. I'm not sure if the dust has completely settled here, but it obviously has settled on the running backs because
there's no running backs left.
I mean, Dallas didn't pick up shit, but I mean, we'll get into that.
Okay.
Let's get into the running backs. So Saquon to Philly. Saquon went to Philly, right? We already talked about that. DeAndre Swift to Philly. What are you thinking? I mean, from Philly to the Bears, I mean.
DeAndre Swift to the Bears. I love it.
Yeah.
Keep Justin Fields. Love it. Dynamic duo is going to go insane.
Yeah.
Like it must.
Yeah.
DeAndre Swift.
It's a good pickup for the Bears.
DeAndre
Well,
Swift.
I think so. I think they just got to
Philly
they
has
got
got
to
an
give him the
upgrade
ball
and
and let
so
him
did
run.
the Bears.
Right. So, well, they did well.
Everyone got upgrades.
It's definitely an upgrade, but for fantasy purposes, I advise staying away.
Well, it's always with any running back. There's always a little risk when you're
Just like
talking
on
about a
this-
quarterback that runs too, right? So
Yeah, just like on this podcast, it's going to be a little crowded in that backfield. So you got to watch out.
Josh, we don't mind you being
Okay.
crowding up our
Anyways.
podcast today. So.
Okay, but who are you saying is a bad pick?
From what?
DeAndre Swift or Justin Fields?
Swift.
No, I think you're staying away from Swift.
because
I'm
just Justin Fields is going to be running the ball a lot.
And we're not staying
Uh,
away from Swift. We're not just drafting him first round,
Right.
second round, probably.
we do that before?
Swift is the
Well,
top. Well, I don't know. Where do you get? I have no idea where
I
he was
still,
ranked.
I still think.
Yeah, because
no.
he had the exact same quarterback situation last year.
Well,
And where did Swift finish in fantasy? Do we know?
Not
bad. He's had to be like top
he
20.
was 20.
Yeah, so he
was
wasn't
20.
great. So you know
20.
what? He's probably in the exact same position.
Yeah.
Started really good.
He's in the exact same position.
Fantasy-wise.
Yeah.
Football-wise, it's dope.
Yeah, I think.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's great
okay.
football-wise.
Fantasy wise, yeah, no. I mean, that's going to happen with any quarterback. I mean, like you look at the Baltimore. Like, I mean, obviously Lamar is going to be using his legs, so the
Derrick
running
Henry,
back, the running back might not be.
We don't touch
that
Derrick Henry,
great,
is what we're
depends
saying.
unless
I
they.
have a take about Derrick.
Swift probably would have been running back 10 if he just got one extra more yard. And Josh knows all about that last year.
So because I've just mentioned Derrick Henry.
Yeah,
Derrick Henry went to the Ravens.
Ravens.
obviously.
Yeah,
to the
2
Ravens.
years, 16 mil.
Interesting pick. Dalvin Cook. What happened to him?
This guy's
Is he still at Baltimore?
this guy's a cut.
Didn't he go there for the playoffs?
Yeah, but like he went for the playoffs.
So is he a
Yeah.
free agent right now, or is he still
No.
with, or his
This
career over?
Guy,
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening with him.
Dalvin Cook
Interesting.
is about as good as butter.
Let's get the mic from this guy. I've had enough of it.
I'm not sure. Like, this is what I mean about the decline of running backs. I don't really understand it. Like one year, Dalvin Cook is like a top 5 running back on Minnesota. He gets traded to the Jets, and everyone just writes him off. He's shit. But like, it's the same with like Todd Gurley that one year.
Ezekiel Elliott.
Zeke.
for sure.
Zeke just was shit.
Yeah,
Like the
well,
last
Because
like,
these
4
ground and
years,
pound
after
running
the-
backs get grounded and pounded, and then their careers are done.
Yeah,
They have
but
5 years in the league, and that's
but
it.
Dalvin didn't even have a bad year.
Well,
Dalvin had a good year. He got traded to the Jets. Brees Hall. They didn't play him.
Yeah,
And
well,
now he's just shit. Now he's the
Dalvin's
third
last
string
year
in
in
Baltimore.
Minnesota was a decline compared to the other
Yeah,
years.
but
He had
you know,
back,
but that
both
was-
shoulder injuries.
well,
Yeah.
not just that. It was the coaching. They got new coaches in there, and they
Yeah,
just were
they went
not.
to a
They were
pass-heavy
just
offense.
not running the ball
Yeah.
like they were before. Cook, right? So
Minnesota also had a big pickup in Aaron Jones.
yeah,
What are we saying? He's a stay away then because for the
No,
same reason, or is
no.
he going to be discussed
well,
this year?
yeah. Like I
Uh,
mean, if depending if the coaching staff changes, but you know who that really hurts is Ty. Ty Chandler was supposed to be like the new breakout
Ty-
kind of
Ty-
guy. And,
Are
you know,
we
and
talk-
that's, you know,
Ty
that's not
Chandler,
gonna,
Ty
he's not
Chandler.
going to do anything now with that.
Yeah,
there with
no,
Aaron
he's
Jones.
definitely sitting second
Like
fiddle
he's
for the
sitting
year.
there. If anybody's going to get touches, it's just going to be Aaron Jones the whole time.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I think
Was Ty Chandler really him?
no.
He
Well,
had
I
a good
mean,
game
He had
here
some
and there.
good games. I mean, but I mean, you know,
He never got
maybe
his
was-
time to shine.
Yeah, he didn't have his time to shine. So they thought, well, maybe this will be the time to shine. But you know, when you sign Aaron Jones, you know that's not,
But-
Yeah, I
that's
think
not
it's
going to
okay.
be it.
But they
not gonna be it.
Madison was fantastic when Dalvin Cook was running back 1. And every time Madison got his chance, he took it. And then all of a sudden, he gets his chance with no running back there. And he was just terrible last year. So is it not going to be the same?
Weird. Reminds me of a Dallas running back. Like
Yeah,
When everyone
Tony
was-
Pollard.
when everyone was gassing
Well,
Tony
yeah,
Pollard
well,
being
oh
the
my
backup
God,
running
big
back,
gas.
saying
Yeah.
this guy
Well,
should
well,
be
give Sean the
starting over
mic.
Zeke.
I mean, Tony Pollard goes from Dallas to the Titans. They signed him for 3 years, 24 mils. He's
Oh,
going to
let
share
me
the
tell ya.
workload with Spears. I mean, or some
These
with
guys-
Spears. But I mean, what the hell's happening to Dallas? What,
These
like, what are they-
guys-
what's the running back situation? What the hell are they doing?
Dak Prescott.
Rico Doro.
Yeah, he's good.
Like,
These guys were raving about Tajay Spears. He was basically splitting carries with Henry last year.
yeah,
And then you go and get Pollard, give him 30 mil for what?
yeah, 24 mil. Yeah, they gave him 3 years, 24 mil.
I
Like-
think Pollard's still going to have a better year than last year.
I mean,
Why did he not
the
have
bar
a good year
set the
last
bar
year?
set extremely
Very
low.
low. So I think
Yeah.
this year he has a better year
Um,
than last.
hard to have a worse year.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Let me tell you why he didn't have a good year last year.
yeah. Tell us.
We kind of shifted a bit away from the run game. Dak kind of liked his West Coast offense. He was feeling nice in the pass game there.
And every time Tony got the
Um,
ball, it was an inside run play.
Yeah, and they
And-
just they stopped doing outside runs, which
Yeah.
is his bread
Yeah.
and butter.
Yep.
He's not a punch up the middle gut guy like Zeke when he was there.
Yep.
and
So stay away
with every
from
running
Pollard
back.
and stay away from Pollard with the Titans. Then.
Well, just don't draft him first
Yeah,
round like
just don't,
last
yeah.
year.
And good old Father Time catches everyone.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And now Eckler leaves the Chargers, gone
Eckler's-
to Washington. He's going to be there with Brian Robinson. Is that like what's going to happen? Like Eckler had a bad year last year. Now he's going to be up there with Brian Robinson, who I thought was going to be great this year because they traded away their other guy or lost their other guy, and so I thought Robinson was going to be by himself, and I thought he might be the stud there. But then Eckler,
I'm surprised.
in, so.
I'm surprised this Eckler guy even got signed anywhere because he is just garbage. Like he's also another running back that just can't keep up with his body anymore. Like this guy done. This guy's good as done.
He's done.
Really?
This guy was just god awful last year. Like he had one of maybe the slowest runs recorded on a breakaway. And like he banged up his ankle. Josh trades him to me for a bag, and the guy does nothing on my team.
I traded you in for ETN.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Shane gave you a bag.
The last
I get-
games were both garbage.
I give Josh a healthy
ETN.
top 10 running back in the league, 24 years old, and he gives me 29 bald head Eckler. But he still my guy, friend of the pod though.
Yeah, friend of the pod.
Listen, I drafted Eckler third, and I've never been more disappointed with something in my life.
Yeah. Well, we were all hoping he was going to have the year like he did before, right?
But what are you going to do? I still had a great team.
Yeah.
In spite of Eckler.
Yeah. So now that Josh has got the mic, let's talk about Josh. Let's talk about Josh Jacobs going to Green Bay, which I think is fantastic for Green Bay. Getting a nice
Josh Jacobs is fire.
Getting a nice young running back. 4 years, 48 mil. They got rid of Aaron Jones, so I mean, like he's the
Some
guy
cap
there,
space,
right?
yeah.
So
yeah, I think it's a straight
AJ
one
Dillon's
in, one out.
Like AJ Dillon's always just seems like he's gonna be there, and he's
and
will
he's
always
not.
be
He's not.
available.
Yeah, and everybody
So
thought
like, I don't know.
He's too busy playing farming.
Yeah, so I think Josh Jacobs
good on
on
him.
Twitch.
I actually love AJ Dillon though.
I think
he's just an outstanding man.
for Green Bay, this is a straight neutral swap.
You think?
Jones
neutral
out,
swap?
Josh
No,
Jacobs in.
Josh
I think
Jacobs
it's-
is-
no.
I think
how
it's a
old?
neutral.
How old's Josh Jacobs compared to Aaron Jones? Like
well,
a lot younger?
Well,
No, but I'm talking.
I think he's younger. Like he's definitely younger. Like I mean, yeah.
I'm talking just straight up fantasy next year.
Did Josh Jacobs not like
These
lead?
guys are just going to get
lead
the
the
same
league
numbers.
and-
Do you think they're going to
And
put the
yardage?
same numbers?
Yeah, I don't
Like
think there's gonna be any
rushing?
change.
Holy shit, he's 26 years old. He's
You get a younger running
26,
back,
yeah.
which is good for Green Bay in the future.
Well, it's good-
but
yeah,
I'm
it's
just
good
saying
for
for
Green Bay.
the initial first year, I can't see Josh Jacobs doing more than what Aaron Jones
How-
was doing.
how long's Josh Jacobs' contract?
4 years.
Aaron Jones had a
4
pretty
years,
good year
48
last year,
mil.
did he not?
4 years, 48 mil.
Aaron
4
Jones
years.
was the guy last year.
They have him till he's 30.
Aaron Jones always catches some slack, man. He's always underrated.
He was good last year.
I think he had a
He's
good.
good.
I think he had a good year. He just kept getting injured. He's getting old now, so I don't know if he can keep up with it. But he torched Dallas
Absolutely.
in the
He did.
playoffs.
Torched him.
Like torched. Like we
Torched
couldn't stop this man to save our life.
And then Gus Edwards, Gus the Bus, goes to replace
Zeke? Zeke.
no, not Shane's bald-headed running back from the Chargers.
Ball.
They got him.
Bald,
Derrick
eh?
Henry, we already talked about. And Zach Moss goes to the Bengals. What are you thinking about that?
You know what? Zach Moss might be him.
You know what?
He might be.
Played it
I don't
so
know.
smart. He played it so smart. I drafted him. And when their running back, Taylor was injured, right? Then Zach Moss cleaned up.
Yeah.
Looked good. Well, then, Taylor comes back. He sits back, but still does decent. And I think he just set himself up for a big contract.
Zach Moss still had
Why,
that-
did he get paid a bag?
Well,
Because he's
no,
sitting.
I mean,
is
he's
he not third string?
No, I mean, they're not.
On the Bengals? Joe
The
Mixon's
Bengals.
gone.
Joe Mixon's
Oh,
gone.
Joe Mixon went.
Joe Mixon went.
But
Why would
their
he be
backup
second
last
string?
year- Their backup last year was nasty, was he not?
Yeah.
So, is
So I mean,
Zach
what's
Moss
his
they
name?
didn't- No, they
second
didn't
string?
sign him for a lot.
What's his
I
name?
mean, only 2 years, 8 mil. I mean, it's not for a big bag of money, but I mean, I
Mhm.
think he's going to do well in
Look,
Bengals.
he's on my do not draft list
Oh,
because
Who?
their
Zach
Bengals
Moss?
backup
Zach
last
Moss.
year. What's his last name? Brown. Is it Brown?
Yeah.
Chase Brown.
Chase
was
Brown, yeah.
disgusting.
he's a rookie.
but he was
Yeah.
disgusting last
Yeah.
year. This guy is not taking.
So
a
maybe
back
they're gonna
seat
do a
to
little-
Zach Moss.
They might do a little 1-2 punch.
They might do one.
Like the Colts.
They're
The
doing a
Colts.
75.
The Colts did a 1-2
might do
punch.
one- yeah,
And
they did,
Toward
they
the end
did.
of the year, Jonathan Taylor is just Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
So there's really nothing you can do to stop
Yeah.
him from being him.
No.
Like eventually he's gonna.
It's a
gonna
good
explode.
pickup for
I mean,
Bengals.
I mean, look, if you're talking
Yeah, it's a
fantasy
good pickup
points,
for the Bengals and a great pickup for great
yeah.
contract for Zach
If you're
Moss. sorry.
talking fantasy points, Zach Moss finished 31, and you know who finished 37? Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, Zach Moss
And Zach Moss is a backup running
yeah,
back.
he was a backup running back. Aaron Jones was not. Like, I mean,
Zach Moss has a pretty nasty start to the year.
like.
Yeah, and like, he had a game with Jonathan Taylor was playing where he went for like 3 touchdowns. Did he not?
Yeah, I'm just saying, let's not count out Chase Brown here.
Like he had like 250 yards that game.
Yeah,
no?
I don't think we're going to count him out, but
That's a great take, Marty.
Yeah,
I love
Chase Brown's
Chase
the
Brown.
guy.
That guy was a baller.
He was nearly took over Joe Mixon last year.
And if I'm not
Joe
mistaken, I
Mixon's
think he's
screwed.
Canadian, is he not?
Davis, pull that up. Is Chase Brown Canadian?
Yeah, Davis is sleeping right now.
I have a feeling he is, though. Yeah,
I can't remember. There was a list of the Canadian draft.
I think he
picks
is.
with-
Could not
Well,
be.
There were the
rings a bell.
twins that came out, or the not the twins, but yeah, they were the twins that came out, and they were from somewhere, and then the Browns were. I think he was from there.
from Welland.
Yeah, I don't know where he was
Chase
from. No, London or something
Claypool.
like that.
Knows the
Anyway,
Giants
so-
coach.
Yeah, so we were
Brian
talking about
Dable.
Cincinnati anyway. So Joe Mixon leaves. He goes to the Texans. We liking that?
I'm gonna come in and give a quick little futures pick for everyone.
Okay.
Go lock yourself in. Houston Texans Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I believe it's plus 2,000.
It's a nice pick for the Texans.
Yeah.
I don't mind the Texans in the AFC Championship game.
Yeah.
This year, I don't mind that at all.
I like the Texans.
Yeah.
Really? You like them in the AFC Championship?
I don't know if it's because Joe Mixon. I don't think Joe Mixon
No, I don't think Joe
is
Mixon's
like
doing
that
it with them.
anymore. I
they're
just think CJ is just
I think CJ
so
is the
good.
man. Like,
So
he's just going to develop more there, and I think
Tank
And you've
Dell.
got
He
them
did pretty
ahead
well.
of a healthy Joe Burrow.
Nico
Burrow
Collins.
well, no,
I'm going off. I'm going off.
I don't know.
I'm going
just
off. What
saying-
have you done for me recently? Is what
Yeah.
I'm going off of. And Joe Burr's been hurt, so it's been hard for me to.
Because you
Me to
obviously don't
say.
have them ahead of the Chiefs. Because you'd never
No.
do that.
No,
you're a
they're not.
bandwagoner.
No.
Why would you ever bet against the Chiefs after what you just saw?
Yeah,
like
no.
what? Why would
agree,
you ever
I agree.
bet
No.
against them?
I
No.
do agree.
The Chiefs are back in the running there. I mean, while we're talking about that before we sign off, like, I mean, how does nobody look at that and say like the Chiefs are it? Like they didn't play well. Well, they didn't play well. They didn't play fantastic wise throughout the year.
No,
I mean, Patrick
clutch.
Mahomes.
they
who
had
was-
a terrible
in our
year.
in fantasy.
Mahomes-
Patrick Mahomes went number 1 in a lot of the draft picks, and for QB, and he ended up finishing like number 7th or
For a
8th or
Mahomes-
something
for
like that
Mahomes'
in
year,
fantasy-wise
He had a
before the
terrible
playoffs.
year.
And just like, I mean, they had no receivers. I mean, there's Rice, but I mean, it took him a little while to develop. And he wasn't going to be right off the bat
There's-
hot. And I mean, Kelsey did not have a great year. And I mean, till the end, until the playoffs. I mean, and then boom, they just hit it and lit it, and then
They're clutch. They got the clutch
They
team.
win a Super Bowl
Yeah,
again.
clutch team.
Hit it and lit it.
yeah. You
Um,
need to repeat what I said. Hit it and lit
I
it.
just
That'll
want
be our new term.
to make a correction for all our viewers out there.
Oh, yeah.
Bryce Huff, in fact, did go to Philadelphia.
Oh, he did.
He did. So sorry, Giants.
Mm.
Okay, we got Brian Burns.
Yeah.
So
So Brian, because Brian, Huff was on as a free agent. We were from the Jets, and so I thought maybe the Giants would pick him up, but they got Brian. You got Burns, right? You said, and then I didn't see that, and then
So for the Chiefs thing,
Yeah.
there's, the way I look at it is there's 3 tiers of quarterbacks. There's Mahomes.
that tier's done.
Yeah. Everybody else next tier.
Yeah.
And then
Daniel Jones.
Then the dogs. Like
I think that's probably a great way
Then
to
the dog
finish it
shit.
off.
Yeah, I
Well,
agree.
thanks, Josh, for joining us.
thanks, guys.
and
thanks
talking
for
about
having
the
me.
Giants while you're here and everything like that. And maybe we'll have you cast in on some of
we'll
our
see.
things.
We'll see if the fans like me or not.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. Thumbs up for Josh.
Yeah.
Thumbs up to Josh.
Okay, thanks.
Thumbs down for
Thanks,
Shane.
boys, and we'll catch you next time on our next podcast.
And
Awesome.
I
Yeah.
just want to give a special thanks to our sponsor of the show, Bubbly.
yeah. And what's Josh drinking over there?
Ins and gun.
2 whiskey gingers.
Josh, who's your sponsor of the show?
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
That's well.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for joining us, and I hope you enjoyed today's show. Please stay tuned later this week for another segment on Free Agent Frenzy, where we will delve into quarterbacks, wide receivers, and tight ends, as well as a segment on Jason Kelsey in honor of his retirement, featuring a special video clip and myself on the Real Gridiron Griddle, where I will be cooking up Jason's favorite Philly cheesesteak from D'Alessandro's in Philly. So remember to subscribe, follow us on our YouTube channel, as well as our Spotify and Apple podcasts. so you don't miss out. This is T signing off. And always remember, the most valuable player on your team is the one who makes the most players valuable.
Well, thanks for joining us on this podcast episode. This is Davis, and I hope everyone enjoyed T's and JT drip segment on Jack and the Beanstalk. It looks like the Giants have their work cut out for them if they are going to make it back to the playoffs this year. Hopefully the draft will bring them some good tidings. And thanks for talking about Liverpool. I am a big fan. Thanks to the Gridiron Boys, Shane and Marty, for joining us to discuss the crazy free agency frenzy that happened this past week with the running backs. Watch for the upcoming episode later this week where we will analyze the free agency frenzy featuring QBs, wide receivers, and tight ends. And as well, the episode on Jason Kelsey in honor of his retirement. It will feature a special video clip and tea on the real Gridiron Griddle cooking of Jason's favorite Philly cheesesteak. Well, that is it for this show. Be sure to subscribe so you will not miss our next podcast. All our podcasts are available on our YouTube channel as well as on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Please follow us on our social media platforms and check out our Discord server and join in some group chats. This is your co-host Davis signing off, and may all your fantasy football dreams come true.